just literally got a noisemaker with a Glock at that distance now.
Noisemaker, I like that.
That's where you,
the
dual Berettas might do more. Well, it would do more than... Actually, I don't know if that's too far for a one-shot with dual Berettas. I just don't know. JKS trying to force his way back. He spotted some information, but he is in isolation. SK not committing. They know that much is unknown and that there may be a rotation with JKS being that far forward. They'll try to counter that. But they're not committing. They're not going crazy.
Oh, they made noise.
See how the bomb doesn't hit the floor? That's deliberate.
Everything is deliberate. Teams of this caliber, it seems.
Most of the time.
Oh, wow. Trading headshots.
Nice pick onto the site from Phelps. Pinpoint accuracy with the Glock, and now even, well, he's dead. Nifty from the car. Ready and waiting. Looking for his teammates to get into position to help him out. And in fact, they'll actually double team or attempt to double team coldzera. He'll die. Leaving Taco and Fallen. They got USP there on Mr. Taco. Fallen rocking the Glock.
They can't play this conventionally.
And the Glock in is Fallen. There's one. And can't quite get another one. Taco couldn't find anything whilst Fallen was fighting either. Really good effort from Renegades to isolate these players. And Taco will be looking into the red container as he's shot in the face.
Yeah, he was probably curious to not see the second teammate peeking at the same time from that side, so anticipated, like, alright, they're probably splitting up. But JKS goes 2 levels deep. Comes back around just late.
Into the dream. That's how much is time slowed down when you're 2 levels deep?
When you're 2 levels deep, how much?
Yeah.
0.5.
Okay, I think I was making an Inception reference. I'm not sure if you
By what
if you're
reference?
playing Inception.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
like, different levels.
Levels
That's like
deep,
how they
yeah.
refer to it, I think.
Was there actually, I don't even remember, was there, how much has time slowed down if you're 2 levels?
Yeah, it's like just slows down by like a factor of something. I don't know what exactly
okay.
it is, but like, the deeper you go, the more slowed down time
Sorry, I
is.
let you down.
Yeah. Inception is actually the ridiculous concept. It's actually so awesome. But we've got a really interesting buy here from SK. Gone for that force, got the 2 AKs. I really like this. I'm not sure that they need the 3 Deags. I think the Deagles you can potentially maybe just grab more utility, perhaps. Perhaps like extra added firepower is not necessary, but at the same time you've got players like all of SK on your team. So it's, I mean, they're all so incredibly good. You get more opportunities with more firepower to maybe get picks.
Oh, yeah. Can we look at the money real quick? I don't know if that's possible. I'm curious.
Yo, Sliggy. Nice.
Okay, so they spent down. So it was the Deaglers bot did drop the 2 AKs and then had enough off of that plant?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is actually a huge call out, and we see 4 SMGs on Renegades, so this is a great round to have pulled off this buy.
Oh, but this is the perfect position for Azza. Oh, how much damage will he get? 2 quick headshots from him, falling in third to hit the ground as he's still now ready with the incendiary. Very quick, that's going to halt things, and that's really painful for SK. Now the AKs have to do mad levels of work between Cole and Taco. What can they find? Nifty down to 35. Stillo pushed out of position. They go for the frag, but the frag will be his before he's traded. And now it's just getting harder and harder, more arduous to get into this bomb site. And eventually, it'll just be Phelps left. He'll grab an AK, but he's got no Kevlar. He's going to try to save that one.
Yeah, it was a good attempt, but it was also really nice for Renegades to have A main control that late into the round as it played the smoke perfectly, get us 2 kills, and then the Molotovs to add a second layer to the defense. So super nice hold. It didn't have a lot to do with aim, apart from Azur's nice play there. But he gave himself the best opportunity, having players jump through a smoke like that. So I think that if SK had the overview that we did, they would have seen it would have been quite difficult to actually try to bust that site. Probably would have tried B. Overall, nice hold from the Renegades, who now can retain at least a couple of their SMGs. Know that SK don't have any armor. Would like to make as much money as possible to set up for some college funds.
Yeah, they're just working some very early control here with the AK into mid. It makes sense. I mean, there's a world really. I mean, there's 2 considerations. Sure, Taco's going to want to find a 1 versus 1 with the AK. Always going to get it too. But the other thing with the boost there is that if he dies, it's going to be annoying to grab the AK afterwards potentially. So it's another consideration. But Taco's just going to keep going. He's got himself that first pick. The gun is down on the ground there to be collected by Mr. Phelps. He will have an AK now. So this round gets a little bit scary. The Eagle is eliminated towards B. And that's a problem. Asda, with a good forward play, not afraid. Important to not be too afraid and not to give too much respect to SK in this position.
Has the AK made it into Z? Yeah, he has. Phelps has a lot of potentially big damage. One kill might not be enough, though.
Past the AK. Fur picked up an AK as well. Falling, can he grab it? No. Hot potato AK. He still is now.
They fell back on their feet after losing that opening kill, giving up a lot of map control as well. Taco was in a position where it seemed like SK were going to go back for the 4-1 split. Being at top highway, it's this constant threat. It's similar to the threat of having a player in Squeaky, except Squeaky would be free, so if they decided to go 3-1-1, then they'd have these 2 extra choke points that are just like very close to the site that is super hard to watch for. Phelps only has a Mac 10 on this round. And no nades, so he was definitely very poor.
So again, SK just going really hard into mid. And the way that they're taking mid sort of suggests to me that they don't expect Renegades to really play like that 1-3-1 early rounds.
Oh, this is actually a huge flaw in Renegade's CT side. I should have pointed out that they almost never go for mid control. They like passive setups constantly, and that just you cannot just you can't avoid mid every single round because that's too much free control. You have to at least test it.
Yeah, SK just walking into it every round with like, I mean, it actually looks ridiculous because they're not trying to be safe. And they're just doing it in what could be a really bad way if there's any defense there. So
the one thing they have going for them is in a passive setup they have the op, and SK don't have any nades this round.
So it's all about good timings here for SK. Timing taken, timing failed. Good shot from Nifty though. Really good shot. There's this player in door. It's interesting, you know, SK really are trying to outfrag onto a pretty solid A setup. It's just really not going their way. I mean, did you think they forced the issue way too much here?
I think once they got up highway, they're really committed in their heads to A, but knowing that op is there, I think they might have been better off going for some type of B split.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, we talked previously in the first European match of the day about, you know, the way that Snacks was clearing, or the way that Snacks could play the solo man clear towards checkers. With such free mid control, to have assist from Vents in a play like that, you know, just get that extra mid control, extra control of the map, could be very powerful for SK, as opposed to then just being only with A as the option. Let's say.
Oh my god!
Please, please, please stop.
I just expect every duel to be won by the CZ.
It looks really strong right now. Like, I don't think it ever was this strong. It feels like, okay, it was definitely stronger in the past, but you know what I mean. In the last, you know,
since its significant updates.
Yeah, exactly. Since that big nerf, like, I don't think it's ever been this good.
Do CZs kill people, or does Cold kill people?
I think CZs kill
Everyone's
people,
killing people with a CZ. So
That's true.
guns don't kill people. People kill people. But also with guns. 5-0, SK at maximum loss bonus, but can they solve the riddle of Renegades and the open middle area? Because there was that one round where they didn't kill a single player for yet to reach the scoreboard. But it could still be early days, but it is the CT side. Well, I would say they're building money, but they're not really.
I think they just need to, if they want to take mid control, which they get for free, they just need to not die on highway afterwards before they decide to execute.
Interesting.
We talked about this. Oh
yeah,
my
we did.
God.
We really did talk about that earlier today. I guess we can rehash it because it is a lot. You know, it feels like a long time
We've
ago.
got different viewers.
Yeah, different viewers. So we'll go over that in a second. But we have the retake attempt here by Renegades. Renegades have Nifty to forward position, and he will die for such a forward position. So I guess we can talk about it now. Just if you're going to go for a NA main play for any reason, there's actually almost no reason not to just play 2 players in there to try to get
Try to get the trade, yeah.
Try to get the trade. Try to get a more effective setup going, because the outcome, if it's one person, the worst possible outcome if it's one person or 2 people doing that play from the CT side is basically the same. You lose the site if you die. If you mess it up, you do just lose the site. So
yeah, and it's especially if your teammate on the site isn't being useful. Like if he's just sitting on the site, while you're doing something aggressive, then
Yes.
what is his value? Why not stack B or something?
I feel like earlier we did it. We said it in a much more eloquent manner, but I think
It's devolved a bit.
I think we we got the point across. Generally speaking, the money's quite funny for Renegades though. He still is on like 10k there, and is able to buy up fully. SK, they need to keep the rounds coming. It would be really weird to me if SKs don't take full advantage of the mids. How light the mid presence is from Renegades, just consistently, you know.
Yeah, they can think about the pattern of the fact that up until a certain point, they were really good. Oh, that's some nice aggressive B main control, and again, they do it in tandem, which is really nice, and at the same time get away with a boost. But it made a little bit of noise, and I'm not sure if it was heard. There was gunfire to cover it. Oh no, they're fully aware.
They are completely aware. Ooh. Oh, there's a drop actually. I think Taco spilled that. Yes, he did. This is really interesting actually. Especially with playing 3 players on the A side as they have been doing. And a B can be quite susceptible because of the long rotation if you have an explosive set piece. Especially if you take checkers earlier in the round.
There's a way with 3 Molotovs to molly out the entirety of the site.
Yes, yeah. Oh. That's the power of checkers control.
Yeah.
JKS shoulder peeking. He's spotted by one player. Oh, he's pulling out the grenade and he hears the sound. Almost just in time the rifle, but not quite. Phelps taking him down. Taco caught on the rotation. That leaves the CTs in quite a bad spot. The bomb's being rotated. Spotted though by CT on the high ground, I think. The grenades, are they flying in? Well, there are 2 Molotovs, but maybe they'll save them for a push at the same time. The CT, still a smoke down towards CT. They have the kit on one player. I don't know how Nifty landed that shot, but seems to land everything at the moment. Fallen, forced to get away. Doesn't land that shot, which would have made it a bit more expensive for the CTs, but ends up being a comfortable one.
It's actually funny there because Phelps was trying to do a right-handed smoke on the corner of the site so that he would actually have cover to play around because he knew that he was going to get outnumbered and would need to cover a smoke. But he sort of like walked into that pixel gap and then just like tried to right-click it instead of just sort of like throwing it into the corner. If you see what I mean? So that was interesting because if he stays alive there, Falling can actually do some massive damage. Potentially, it's Fallen after all, and they get reset as a result. They still have money in the bank, but.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the exact numbers are, but I'd say in a 2v4 with an op and a good afterplant spot. Oh, wow.
Oh,
wow.
Don't always see that.
Yeah.
They're really nice. That boost almost never pays off. I like it.
He's still gathering some information. Going back to the well, but his Molotov hasn't quite done the job, so he needs to be careful.
That is a janky Molotov, dude.
Why are you doing that?
I don't. I mean, he probably assumed that that's covered. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, the Molotov is good.
But if it, what is he lining up a smoke? I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to go for the deep smoke. I think for sure.
We could have just bounced it off the wall as well.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Use the backboard.
Same as the Molotov.
Oh my god.
And they will line up for Phelps. So SK, I think they may have broken the money of Renegades now.
Yeah.
So they will make some breathing room, and while it has looked dominant for Renegades, it's still early on. I don't know when I last saw that frag, but yeah, it just doesn't make any. It doesn't make any sense. You don't need to line it up like a ruler.
I think
because it just needs to hit the flames and then off it goes.
Yeah, but it's hard to say like.
I guess he wants it to be deeper inside. But lesson learned, perhaps.
What do you think, Launders?
I don't know. I just think it's hard to say because from his perspective, he threw a perfect Molotov. No one can ever stand in that.
Yeah.
It's fully plumed. I don't even understand how Fallen saw a part that he could stand in there. So.
Yeah, that's the thing with the way Molotov spreads. It's just inconsistent.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Oh my
He's
god.
Oh dear.
I was sure the flames would spread in his direction, but I was surely wrong. Does he get a second one? Oh my god, what is this round, you Stillo? What is this round?
Oh, is it coming? Is there a flash? Damn.
I love it when you have so little expectation for what you can do. You take like these massive risks, like he was with the P250, just going for the peak face, you know, crazy faces, and he just
crazy faces
gets crazy faces, gets the kills.
Flying down to 0 after going 6-0, 5-0, 5-1, something like that. 5-1, yeah. And now we're relatively low. Flash is no good. Do they go through them all? Whoa, 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 whoa.
Hello.
That's a commitment.
That's a lot of damage. That is an insane amount of damage.
That's mad, isn't it?
That's how you want your Molotov to be. Because sometimes people will just be waiting under the boost, but that's ready even that far.
That used to happen on Dust 2 windows. Sometimes it would go all the way to the floor in the site, like in the corner behind the default plant.
In B, yeah.
Yeah, I died because of that once. I was not amused.
Here it is, testing mid. Oh my god,
no.
that's a big miss. And the flash comes in though, that's really nice. That's really nice, the flash is ready to come in there.
I feel like Phelps was a little blind there too.
He was line dancing when he
goodness.
landed that shot.
I imagine like the flash for Ustilla, there was just a flash for as soon as he starts firing to provide him cover, but he realized that the flash was going to be good for a frag as well.
They have given Nifty so many kills from here.
Yeah, yeah, they really
He's
have.
played A so often with the op, and they have just like come on to...
So Lorna's like, there's this like at the top of highway,
The
smoke that you can throw from the boost, which is really strong. NIP used to throw that all the time. I feel like that would be so money for that'd be like the most valuable smoke they could throw in this game.
Yeah.
SK.
You know what though? Like even they haven't been so disciplined. Even beyond that point, so like we've seen them peek from that highway box and die a couple of times as well. So it's like even when they've been given top highway control, they overextend a little bit. I'm not sure exactly why, but all these dry peaks for Nifty, I mean, he'll take those kills.
Yeah, Nifty's really good. He's a very good AWPer.
Oh, he's awesome.
He's a really good AWPer, and it's, yeah, you don't really want to test him like that. I mean, got to give the man some respect.
Yeah. In my opinion, if you're not willing to be as aggressive as Nifty or Kusta or something that we've seen today, for example,
Yes.
you're really not going to make your value with your op.
Yes.
Teams are designing strategies around first and foremost not getting offed, at the very least. So you have to be unconventional. You have to be really brave.
Yeah, it's the evolution of CS:GO. You got to be able to be that AWPer. You can't be static. It's weird. Yeah, it's 63. Oh, sorry, 64 now as SK pick up another round, and Nifty and Azov, of course, did save their guns into this round, so there is something to do damage with. And to be honest, I've seen rounds won with less. Like one AWP with nothing else can often, win you around with a good, right place, right time sort of thing, going in your way.
I feel like this is a good composure from Renegades, because sometimes teams pick up an op, but they have no money to buy, but they still force behind it because they believe, all right, we have an op and we would maybe win a force even without one, so let's just buy up, but then it ruins their economy.
Yes.
But here, they're giving themselves a chance. And they're using their rifle aggressively, which I really like. This is so 50-50 for me if an opponent is boosted up. I can never tell who actually has the advantage, the CT or the T. That's nice. Oof.
This is really good for Renegades. 2 opening kills really early on.
See, this is why you weaponize the 2 guns on the server, because now, as far as SK is concerned, there are literally rifles everywhere, right?
This is really good. Still back at it again. Look, his movement is amazing. Do you see his movement?
Yeah.
Like the right-left shuffle into the crouch halfway.
So annoying.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
Yeah, what do you say about that one?
It's a great play from Nifty. That first kill, just walking while Cold was holding the angle, Cold must have been like, what on earth just happened to my face? And that's given, to the victor the spoils. Renegades in a much better position now. Many more weapons. Fallen looking for an early push in case of a spawn, but there won't be one. His team will smoke off the front in the meantime. As usual, Molotov forcing anyone off the angles. Now, when you sometimes see Ricky in checkers, he will sometimes throw a smoke on that Molotov and then jump on the platform to vent to look over it. But I haven't really seen it from anyone else.
Always good to have those pocket one-ways.
Yeah. I guess a lot of people are hesitant to throw, because usually that Molotov comes at an early timing. You don't want to, I think, just throw the smoke away. I think probably people are being conservative with that CT smoke. Maybe that's the reason. This is the checkers control we were looking for earlier. Obviously, there is only one Molotov left, but it's such a good place to try to get picks, to like pressure the defense. There's 2 players stuck on the side. That's a really big deal. You can effectively leave Cold there, and you can keep the pressure up. And that's effectively 1 player holding down 2.
Strictly passive right now for the CTs, whether they like it or not, with these 2 players locked down in B and top. highway control. But the smoke is fading in Z, and that might cause a problem for Phelps if he takes too long to throw this. He still is hungry and waiting. Oh, and his teammates just left him.
Yeah, I was going to say. Decided to go into checkers. Cold can't get anything, and in fact Phelps falls to the spray as well as he peeks in. That was an absolute disaster for SK, and they had all this positioning across the map to do so much. They were so well poised to do so much. I can't even like explain how much they could have done.
Yeah, they could have changed it too. Like they could have, within that setup, they had so much room to move for free. They could have split A if they wanted to, 4-1 easily, running back through spawn, or committed like they did, and just used Taco as a lurk, or whoever it was at top highway, just to catch rotators.
I think they had maximum map control.
Yeah,
they even have top highway. That's crazy.
Now they're on the pistols. Phelps with a flashbang, but he's close to these players, so they're just going to run in and not use the flash or the molly. Maybe they're for post plant, and they have the numbers game, and it's worked out for them. 2 kills. They've picked up some rifles, and the rifles are on the players who've bought armor. Phelps still has a flashbang. They've got 2 Molotovs now, so they can stop a push from these CTs. Who've got mollies of their own, and will clear out the forklift area at least. All coming from the car. There's Cold Zero boosted up. 1 more Molotov. 4 versus 2.
Oh, that's brilliant. Cold pulls out a deagle, connects to the dome. See you later, Naf.
Damn. I realize he's got to. They mollied it perfectly, both sides of it. Make sure they got maximum coverage. And as they were boosted, Cold realizes his teammate's gonna die and cut the totem pole off, so he's got to get up. It's a good adjustment.
Yep, absolutely. I like that. That was awesome from Cold. And SK 5 rounds for them. This is a really interesting game of Cash. It's a bit hard to analyze some spots. It's a strange one because you know, part and parcel because Renegades do play a really weird CT style. Yeah. That's part of the reason.
It's crazy. Like, you're giving up so much map control, but they're still winning so many rounds.
Exactly. It's hard to work out.
Yeah, it's relatively static. They've actually got 3A this time, and they're reading the A split somehow perfectly.
Yeah, I think you know, as you mentioned before, Nifty's been getting so many free kills. Might be another one. Nifty falling back now. Typically, you know, you'd expect him to be around quad. He has been in the past. This is really good by Renegades. They're gonna die, but I think the idea was really good. They wanted to confirm the play. SK were just holding. Although it's pretty early in the round still. After engaging the player, Z Connector takes down Cold for the 2 versus 2, but the bomb side is available for the plants.
Just a flashbang for the T's. Furs on the high ground, and there is a flank coming in. Mafly's making his way all the way around. But Fallen, oh, he's going to Squeaky, okay, because Fallen seemed to be looking for it perhaps. But see what Nafly can do from that position. In the meantime, JKS will try to run distraction. Will he smoke off main? That would be, oh, he's going to do it as well. So that's going to isolate some players, and maybe Fallen's got to make his way back out again. Nafly may catch a player on the high ground. He does, and that puts Fallen in a horrible spot, but it is Fallen after all. Bomb is ticking. Looking to pick up a rifle. JKS, not sure if he's touched the bomb just yet, but Fallen's looking for him, and he finds him. SK weather the storm.
I think SK waited for Renegades when they gave up mid control and they saw that there was players there. I think Renegades were planning to take A main control, and SK had a perfect crossfire on A main. So the 2 players coming in, there's one boosted on the left and Fur on the box on the right, and the trade still went pretty well, I think, for both teams. But
oh god, it's not you as well. Honors is being claimed by James's aspect.
You need some water.
I think I'm okay. I think.
Don't die on us.
Okay.
Because then we'd have to like dispose of your body.
Oh, that's why. That's good to know.
Yeah.
All right. I'm so motivated to stay alive now.
fresh out of hydrochloric.
I don't want to watch you decompose, Londers. Please do it in your own time.
So nihilistic of you.
Oh. Naf, will he make a play in here? Looking for information. Oh, that's a good spot. I feel like Cold's actually getting kind of wrecked this game.
He's getting dicked. Wait, oh, can I say that?
Yeah, you can say that.
Oh, he's getting dicked on. Yeah.
I think that's okay.
What does that mean?
Is that,
I know what that means.
oh,
What does it mean?
We'll explain it to you later then, because I think it's okay for him to say it, but it's not really. I don't want to go into this.
Well, surely it's not okay then. If you can't explain on the stream what it means, then surely you shouldn't say it at all. That's my logic at least.
I just say it all the time, actually. Anyway, push into the B side is not really going to go too well for Renegades. Obviously, the equipment is lacking. The rotation is fast. This is a good mix up from SK. We haven't seen a lot of hard B hits, and definitely with the heavy A presence we've seen out of Renegades and those long rotations, it makes sense.
Is he lagged out or something?
I don't know.
Because he's just standing there holding the bomb.
Oh yeah, he was on headshot, just holding the bomb.
Maybe he pressed the Windows key, and just alt tabbed.
The true killer of esports.
Yeah, because on certain maps, I think it's only 2 maps. It takes ages to alt tab back into the game because it has to load all the assets again.
It's the new custom maps. Inferno and Dust 2 as well have that feature.
Cache just makes the panels black.
Yeah.
Some of the panels black, which is really annoying, actually.
So it just implies that it's like a BDP, you know? That's all. Because they're constantly peeking. They were peeking cold so aggressively.
Yeah. A beautifully dynamic play. Absolutely.
Right.
Beautifully done play.
Yeah.
Dynamic.
Dynamic done.
It's a longer word, James. Therefore, it is superior.
Okay.
Oh.
My God.
What? Is that a wallbang headshot and actually kills?
Through the seats. Through the seat that was meant for comfort. Oh dear.
The one thing you wouldn't expect a bullet to go through in this game.
Yes. Yeah. This is not going too well for SK. Fair and Cold. Cold, this is your time for revenge. You've been getting killed a lot.
Respect to that peak of Squeaky from Renegades.
Yeah.
Whether it was set up like that or not, double peak, nice.
That strengthens their lead quite a bit.
Oh my God. That's
mental. Just 1 bullet as well.
That's somehow satisfying. So Launders, are SK just going to? Is it just going to be like the button is going to be pressed and it's going to win? What's going to happen?
I think their CT side is good. I think that there's definitely holes in their cache game, but we'll see. At least, I'm personally still not a believer in the way that Renegades played that first half.
Yeah.
But and we'll see. I think SK used mid control a lot better with Fur. Fur can play their solo and still find ways to get kills. They do this really cool thing where you know the pipes that are right by the boost on the T side of mid, like just on the other side of this. There's the pipes on the right by the wall. You can, if you sit on them, people will molly out right side mid. But if you sit on the pipes, you don't get molly.
Oh, I'm the only person who saw that.
Oh. You are, yeah. I was looking at Launders. He's talking about pipes, man. Can't miss that. Oh, wow. Nifty close, and there's the finish. And he can very well do this. Gets the AK to smoke, Molotov, flash. Could you ask for anything else? I guess you could ask for some teammates, but fresh out of those.
This is the round.
Decomposing somewhere.
This is the round that, as a player, I feel like everyone waits for. The 1v2 with tons of time left. You have the bomb, and you can really use your mind here to try to make it a 1v1. This is when it's a really special moment in CS, I think, where it's almost even.
Yes.
Why don't you cast it then, Launders?
Okay,
off you go.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this is stalking. Nifty gets that first frag, and that's gonna after death, he's gonna be able to communicate that it's going to be an A hit. Fork is probably gonna be pretty valuable for realizing to commit to the plan. That's it. Yeah.
That was great.
Just look out for these replays, man.
Yeah, where the replay at?
Dake. Well, first you've got to make sure he defuses the bomb.
Imagine if he just
it's happened before.
Imagine if he just walked by the boost and then planted at A. Imagine if he just walked by the boost and then planted at A, and then so the other teammate isn't aware that he's going to go A, and then just kept account of the fact that he was most likely going to flank A main.
That's quite the risk to take.
Yeah,
I think
potentially.
I think you got to shoot the guy. I think the guy must be shot.
Violence isn't always the answer.
It is the answer.
Violence is the answer.
Historically, it has been the answer.
That's actually a Roadhog quote, isn't it? Actually.
Violence is usually the answer. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
From Dota? Or wait, no, sorry, Overwatch.
Yeah. Yeah. As soon as James heard that, I think he was your favorite character or something.
Yeah.
Violence is the answer. Well, we've got MP9 and his Glock here, and it's not going to be remaining too much longer. Not much you can do from this position. Renegades will concede the round. 9-9. SK tie things up. And the best thing about this, obviously, is they can start off the second half with great economy. And, well, should they win this round, I guess it really hinges on this round. This is the big swing round for both teams. If SK win it, depending on how clean it is, they get this really solid start in the economy. The Orbs can start rolling in. They can start taking some aggressive risks, taking map control. But if Renegades are able to win it, they can take control of the momentum. So this is a really huge round.
I can't remember if Renegades were just as hesitant on taking mid as a T as they were passive on CT.
Right.
So that might actually be another factor as well.
There are some teams that just don't really exhibit a lot of map control, don't seem to care too much about it, but they prefer more to just get into positions for running set pieces. And however, we will see a setup here, 2 men on boost. 2 man on boost. And over the top they'll go. This is actually a pretty fast mid play. The sort of expected mid timing is usually around 1 minute when the team actually goes for a mid take.
And SK here pretty static, not looking for any A control, just sitting and waiting patiently. No B main presence.
Ooh. Did not work to plan. Did not go to plan. Trying to make his way around, something to the spray. Nafly will go down in the meantime. We've got the post-plant smoke before the plant is down. You still got a smoke, so this will be a difficult retake for the CTs unless Firkin gets some more kills from the forklift.
There he goes. He's got a good angle indeed, but the health is not really with him. But the forklift, as you say, is provides sort of cover, can play the headshots. And his teammates aren't doing perhaps as well as he'd like. Oh, that is savage stuff there from JKS. Knew nothing about that one. Threw caution to the winds for... Gonna have to back away, try to keep the AK, can't though.
You didn't say that because of his name, did you? JKS's name? Justin Savage?
Oh, I had no idea actually.
Oh, yeah.
That his last name was Savage. So a question for you, Launders. So I was confused why Renegades boosted 2 men up onto the boost, did like a very small clear of close positions,
yeah,
and then went back. Is that just because they're running an A piece? They want to make sure there's no one who can fast flank and no one who can get the info, and then back away? Because I guess there's no other reason I can think of why you do that.
Yeah, that is why.
It? Okay.
Yeah, it's like that's very safe. It's first of all, it's T-sided to take mid because you get the high-low position. You have 2 choke points. You have like so much freedom for your nades and stuff like that. And there's only a couple of spots that CTs can stand, including like white box and sandbags, which is very closed off, easily Molotov'd out. So they wanted to just make sure that no one could counter boost first of all, and then also fast flank and then clear up close left mid, which is a very vulnerable position as well. And then past that, they realized, okay, that's probably a 2-1-2. And all we have to do is make sure that the highway guy can't rotate in too easily. I think that the hold would have worked out pretty well if the Molotov was respected by Taco. He called out that someone was going to rush forklift.
Yeah, it's definitely did pan out quite well for Renegades, and so far we haven't seen true mid take from them actually in that sense.
Oh,
ooh, that really spread.
Oh god,
my goodness. Free.
Well,
you appear to be on fire. And that shot from Foylan was fire as well. 50 seconds as Renegades start to move up the middle area. They still have a split on because Azza is around a squeaky door. He can try and run distraction.
Oh wow. Does he jump?
Just run straight through the smoke, straight to your doom. Nifty, with all that low HP, carrying the bomb for some reason. He'll get picked off as well, leaving Azza alone versus 3. He's got 33 seconds. He can try and get the 1 versus 1. Did they realize he's on the site? Perhaps Fallen did. Now the information is known. He's got a smoke. He could put it beyond the bomb. Doesn't realize that somebody's next to it, though. Phelps just around the corner. Where's the smoke, Azza? There is the trade.
Well, I mean, the damage done was actually pretty significant, and if we were going to remind ourselves how hard it is to buy on the CT side, it's a pretty big deal that 1, the AWP was saved, but 2, that Azza was able to even just eke out that very last kill there, so only 1 survived. But, I mean, look at this, UMPs have to come out, no nades on Fallen. And so the force buy really makes a lot of sense here due to the reset potential, but also just the ability to tailor the buy for the specific loadout you're going to have. Tailor the round, for the loadout that you have.
It was a very interesting approach for SK to refresh the highway smoke, which you take for control, but it also blocks any split from occurring and allows you to separate what was 3 people at the time from the 2 coming A main. Fur did that just very, like, no tell whatsoever, pushed up, and he almost died for it, but with his full nade set now, they get to reap the benefit of being able to delay even more, and here's Nifty. Let's take a shots on highway.
So it's, yeah, this has not really worked out. The problem for Renegades is that they were not able to get their money's worth of these nades so far, which is always very sad. It's a flash for JKS. Okay, he manages to get the AK out.
You've got to be really careful with that smoke on top of highway, because if you don't throw it perfectly, you do get that gap, which Taco is standing in right there. You has to be in tip-top shape, that smoke grenade. Otherwise you can be punished. It does give information away as well, even if there's no kills, and can allow the CT to be over towards the B-bomb site instead. Phelps dancing around the box, but as I know someone's there, however, a trap has been laid, and Nafly runs towards A with 10 HP. I don't think anyone's in position to hear him, but Fur's made his way. We've got a red health duel, and Fur's got a very strong position. It's going to be hard for Nafly to make this work, and he won't. SK take the lead.
He was quite literally running to his death. I think he knew there was no way that he would be able to plant, but he also didn't want to end the round, which is the CZ and armor moving into this round. No loss bonus to work with. So now one round the difference. SK are still in the lead, or have taken lead, I should say. They know that it's going to be a force up. They have a couple of SMGs because of it. See how aggressive coldzera gets if he does. Normally over at B. Yeah, already been smoking B main off.
Glocks, baby.
Heck yeah.
Looking to play the numbers game. Fur with the UMP. It's a long reload for Fur, so he has to make sure that he delivers a lot of kills. Although you see Taco is the initial engager, much better range, and he's got the spray as well. Molotov towards the door, and the crossfire will be exquisite. It will be divine, sublime, it will be glorious, and perhaps justice, depending on which team you support. 12-10, nothing doing in that round for Renegades, but then what could you really expect?
Yeah, so much value for coldzera to just go for that information early, and if they do run into him, he goes like gets 2 kills, tons of money to work with, alerts his team that it's going to be a B hit, leaving one person there to hold off any pushes, and Renegades now, after that round, no plants, buying down to 0, having some utility to work with, a pretty decent buy. Have tried to focus on mid control in the past, even with low utility. Here, boosting up 2 once again. Fallen will only get a dry peek. They haven't actually had to worry about a knot before, so the smoke will come out. He likes to jump over these.
It's a great Molotov. Can line them up in a number of ways from that position, but ultimately it's Renegades with possession of mid. What is Fallen thinking about? Maybe, well, who the hell knows what he's thinking? Certainly not me. But the smoke is dissipated. Is he brave enough to go through a peek, trying to catch? Plays off guard. He will take the off angle. We see this from Flusher as well. And head has been spotted. Oh. And one has been spotted as a taken down. And it's surely a B play here as far as SK are concerned. coldzera going for the repick, takes one down. There's another player on the site falling. He gets absolutely wrecked. And somehow Renegades are still at an advantage. For that is a perfect Molotov. But the bomb will still go down.
Oh, he's... Oh my gosh.
He's still in a lot of trouble. But the grenades have come and gone. Taco looking for the off angle, but will he go back to it? Will he go back for the deep off angle? Oh, no, he won't. That is the round, I think, for Renegades.
That's it. Calls it quits. We saw a B split take place. Mid control taken. Fallen getting the opening kill should have been a huge benefit to SK, who actually didn't look for any map control. Didn't try to hold on to checker at all. Just played 2 on the site, which is a risky position to do it. It has become kind of meta to try to do that, but any team that splits on you is going to have a distinct advantage, having an extra choke point to work with, and Renegades really abused that to perfection, even after losing the first guy. So hurts the rotates. A player in vents is a huge point of contact for any of the CTs that are on the site. Like not being able to run through checkers and knowing that somebody can fall into checkers behind you as you take the site. It's just too much of a risk most of the time.
With a very forward spawn. Will there be purpose to it? No, he's going to be at the back of mid. Sorry, the front of mid. Misreading the the radar. What is this from Fallen? Okay, boosting over the smoke, yes. This looks good, but what doesn't look good is an early pick onto Fur. No connection on that AWP shot. No one maimed to be finished off by any of these mid players. Got Taco around the corner of the Sugar Cube. Cold Zero with a big push to even the numbers. He will stay there. Renegades may expect him to fall back. I do wonder if they'll check these positions later on, should they head that way. Time is still on their side for the time being, and Fallen's made a push into main.
And he might also find a kill for it. Oh no! But realizes that he legged him.
Oh, indecision and draw animations. Not Fallen's friend. They know the bomb is in main, but there's a flank. Ustilo, that flashbang will go behind, but he's got the AK out just in time. So much information is known, and the bomb's getting planted.
Big stuff here can be done by Renegades, and maybe that's not the start of it. This could be Ustilo though. He's got quite the clutch power in him. Needs to summon all of it in this situation. That's a nice catch onto Cold. Phelps will edge his way around the red container now, looking for Ustilo. That smoke's slowly dissipating. Not too much time left. Ustilo goes for the engagement, and the clutch is made. 12 to 12, the 4K for Ustilo. He's always in for it, I think. Like, we've seen so many great clutches from him in the past.
Yeah, what an awesome play. 4 kills in the round, the 1v2 to close it out, and couldn't have come at a more opportune moment. Saved their economy completely, along with the plant, and puts SK in a situation where they're just half buying. So overall, Renegades will have another free round to look forward to. They realize that SK's economy is thoroughly wrecked at the moment, and will try to abuse the fact that they have these non-head armored opponents, and have invested in the Mac 10 of Nifty to probably lead the way.
Do you believe? Do you believe? Yes! There it is. Nifty shocked at the fast play of Cold. Can't get the gun, but who cares? Got the frag.
If the T's are brave enough, they've got the numbers to dispose of the gun. They could even use a high explosive grenade to send it back towards themselves.
It's only a Mac 10, I think, but...
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure which gun it was.
Yeah.
Well then, what is the decision of Renegades? They're spreading out quite a lot. Seem to just be keeping an eye on any potential pushes from SK. And for the most part, they've got the guns to deal with it, the AKs, but eventually they will want to bunch together. 3 of them have towards main. Fallen was towards the lockers in the previous round, so I'm sure that will make them check this area meticulously. And we see they are creeping into the stack. They've got the grenades though. They could put Molotovs off the... They could bounce them towards the forklift position. And there is a Molotov. But first on the high ground, looking for a second kill. Only good for 1, but Taco's there with the Deagle as well. All the kills coming the way of SK almost. Leaving Naflight alone. 1 versus 4 with UMP. And these rifles are going to be lost. It's not really safe for him to pick one up off the floor. And there is a bounty to be collected.
It's just not a round you can afford to lose. I mean, like, how do you feel about that, London? It's just like essentially the panic setting enough to lose 1 player early, and not having a clear plan. It seemed like just go, okay, lost a player, boom, let's do this.
Yeah, I think that they maybe could have... they used Nafly to fake, and I think he just threw a grenade and kind of left. That left him with 3 players at A versus 5, and SK decided to stack A after Cold got his kill. So they kind of went into the stack blindly. They wouldn't have known. But even from there, you could molly out all the spots on A that people can stand. Taco and Fur, however, found a perfect way to crossfire. It's even better than a crossfire. It's a high-low setup where if you peek one person, you're peeking both at the exact same time. And that made it very, very hard to deal with. Whoa. Getting the lurk off on Fur, you don't see that every day.
And Renegades are well placed around the A site. They'll try to use those numbers, but again, most people don't have any Kevlar whatsoever, so Fallen will just USP them. Nifty re-peeking, and he will live in regret. 2 players taken down, no bomb plant for Renegades, and they have to win now. Last chance saloon, perhaps.
This would be a tough way to start off the season. An 0-2 loss after having 14 rounds on the first map and kind of sacrificing 14 rounds on the second map because you lost an eco.
The fashion.
Can you walk it off?
Oh yeah, the last map is always losing to USPs as well. Oh my god, yeah, I forgot. Now I remember. I remember now.
Now you remember. Now you.
No,
you remember.
It's like a record is skipping.
Try.
Hit him with the Glock, put him in a coma. Now what that boy got? Glaucoma.
That's fire. That is straight fire.
Win.
Straight fire.
Decapitator.
What?
What's the name of Cold's gun?
Oh right, I thought you just said that. I thought that was just
I'm
a
not-
word that escaped your mouth, you know, just like randomly.
I'm not that weird. There is a utility mismatch. That said, maybe that's not fair because Renegades have deployed some and taken the middle area. But what can they do with it? It's 5-on-5. There's less than a minute remaining, and SK will find comfort in main. That corner is an off angle. It is a blind spot, which has to be hard checked by the T side for dancing. But the music's been turned off. The lights have been turned off. The doors have been closed.
Fur really likes going in dry. Using as very little as possible.
That is quite the peak from Fallen. And they're going to use that information for what seems to be almost a full rotation towards the bomb site. But can they get there in time? Checker's being taken. There are 20 seconds for Renegades to plant the bomb. They've got to plant the bomb.
This is a great entry though. You can't get much better than that. There's plenty of time. Plenty of time. 7.5 seconds to spare.
Yeah, I think, well, they had Phelps fighting it at Headshot, and he actually wanted to take contact so no one comes in playing anti-flash. And so I think Cold's flash would have gone off as soon as he unpeaked just for a second. But in that window where he did decide to take a fight and show himself, he got killed. So that was critical for Renegades to hit that one bullet. And kind of disappointed to see. Actually, don't see SK taking control of mid all that often. The one time they did have Fur down in the spot that he always plays, gets lurked on by Naf and never comes back. Instead, has tried to be aggressive at A main by himself a couple of times. Killed once and almost killed a second time.
Who is going to win this match?
Let's see how much money they have. Yeah, they're going to be buying up here, so I don't want to call it.
SK gonna win.
He said it.
Yeah.
Not me.
SK are fine, James. The finest of fine. We'll see though. Renegades have, of course, a fantastic buy. He's been stellar on the AWP, and do we get the fast play here? Yes, we get Ferg and Taka going for the boost. I wonder if this will be looked for because it can just break rounds. Oh my god, please. Got to be careful.
He actually just repeat.
You've got to be careful.
Oh god.
Ooh.
They realized why he could have been so close, doing some weird stuff. And there's a leg. Taco lucky not to die from the impact, but the door is open and his door of opportunity is closed. That's a great read from Renegades.
Yeah.
Why is Fer doing some crazy stuff around that smoke? He must have been boosting someone, otherwise what on earth is he doing?
Is Cold smoked out of B, or does he know that there's no one B? That's what I want to know. Well, he doesn't know for sure.
That smoke's going to buy the CTs some extra time. That's a well-timed smoke, but they've almost completely run out of utility. I feel like they would want to take an initiative before this push hits. If you could, I don't think they can afford to just let the push run into the site at this point.
Yeah.
Fallen is close enough to hear some grenades being primed. If there's a pop flash for the beginning of main, and the T's will push in, but the vision is somewhat obscured. The rotation coming in from B now. Fallen going for a very slow rotation. There's a trade situation here. The bomb's on the floor. That's going to buy some more time. Fer needs to continue with these kills. He's done a great job putting it into a 2 versus 2, and surely this flank is not going to be expected.
That was actually a really, really solid job holding there. That's so hard to actually get enough frags in that position. Good damage done onto Nifty, down to 3 HP as... Ooh, that nade could be good. Yes, it is. Cold is dead. But in comes Fallen with the FAMAS with a vengeance, looking for the kill onto JKS, who will start to edge his way around. I think Fallen heard the running, but JKS too quick. Gives himself the opposite reward. 14-14, the economy rocked.
Rocked. Okay, this
SK.
would be oddly reminiscent.
Oh my god. If it happens again.
Yeah, this would be too much.
So for those of you that didn't see the last match, SK were in like a situation like this, and they decided to do a full save to play for overtime. Like
There was
now,
a deagle
like
and a
now.
P250.
Like now, they're
Yeah.
full saving now, right?
Yeah. for the most part.
It's basically almost the same buy. It's basically almost the same buy.
Yeah, just enough so they could buy next round.
And they won it last
Yeah,
round.
with like 3 alive too.
Okay, so here we go. Surely not again. It's just the odds are just too low. Yes, Nav gets the first kill. That's how it's supposed to go. The deagle though from Taco, rattling off at distance.
Why?
They're just the peaks are dry.
Where the smoke at?
Why wouldn't they smoke this out?
Ustilo doesn't have the smoke. JKS does, however. He's behind him in main and is still not being deployed. They'll go for the kill, maybe not wanting the smoke to allow the CT to close the distance.
Okay, they can't do this now. It's all over for SK in this round, but the overtime can still be had. That's what they were playing for after all. Renegades will not have a repeat of map 1.
Yeah.
At least in that way, anyway.
Seemed like they really wanted it though. Not smoking the cross, of all things. Like fighting from truck is a headshot angle. It's perfect for a deagle. It's like they want to go in deathmatch for no reason.
It's actually like, I have this thing where it's like, what is the one way you can lose a round?
Yeah.
Or lose the situation, right? What's the one thing that can go wrong? And that is just like, that's the thing.
If they did the exact same thing they did last round, is molly out quad and fence, and then isolate the site players. The only reason last round got so close is because their flashes weren't any good, so the 2 players on site weren't blind when they crossed in. If they just fixed that, there was no way that Pistols could win. But it looked competitive the whole time, which is scary.
Bad fallen.
Oh. Is he stuck? Is he? Oh, he's not mollied. What? Where did that molly land?
Under the boost.
That's weird.
Fallen looking for a timing. In comes a flash. And in comes Ustilo as well. I'll get that frag as he pushes on forwards. SK make their way through the vents now for additional frags as the players start to stream out of the warehouse, and it's looking pretty good actually for Renegades. Despite losing a player, that's okay because middle is so valuable, although that said, maybe they don't think so because of their CT side.
Yeah.
But still.
But yeah, they've covered their bases. They immediately mollied out vent, so they know that that threat's no longer there. They have mid control. They just have to deal with the 1 player left in a main, which they'll almost certainly clear, but he doesn't have support.
And Taco can win the round for SK here if he gets like a good engagement in this position. I don't know that, as you say, if there's anyone who can flash for him. I don't think that's it's not really a possibility. So as you say,
Just need to go 1 for 1.
he's got to just make this work. They're going to be peeking this. Oh, the timing is brutal for Taco. Oh dear.
And then do they have a smoke for the cross? How does he still?
Oh, if they go for an open plant, okay, they're not going to. They've got the post plant smoke again, but this time they don't have a second one. There's no kit onto the CT side, but they've got 2 flashbangs and they're close already. And it's Cold Zero who's further away with those flashes, and he will deploy 1. And there's a second one. Will there be a push from first through the smoke? Not quite yet. Another flash. And first seen through the corner of the smoke. Azza and Nafla has some kind of weird, almost crossfire. Not quite working out though. Phelps on the high ground. That's a great shot from Azza. Just needs to kill time because there's no kit for Cold Zero.
Oh.
None required. Straight in the jaw. Renegades take cash.
Yeah, down to the last man, and they actually make it work. Great clutch there from Azza. A peculiar match, to say the least. This is the GG powered by Alienware, and we have... we have to try to process this somehow. I don't know if you can help me out here, Launders, but and we started off on the CT side, with Renegades on that CT side. SK were getting almost like maximum map control, sometimes for free, and it felt as though they could never capitalize, which does not sound like SK. And then on the flip side, we have Renegades actually able to close it out.
Exactly that. Nifty giving away getting too many opening frags for just dry peaks on highway. They could have attacked the sites differently. And then here, doing what they could, and effectively they had the exact same kind of abilities on each half. And you know, it was very close. It did come down to the wire. But a couple of critical moments in the later portion of the half, and a nice clutch by Ustilo here. This is a game-defining moment.
Are there any big takeaways from this match? Any standout moments for you?
More attention to mid.